Now that you've put your divs into your index page, you're also going to have to do that with the remainder of the pages. You then need to open your styles, and you are going to open with, and you're going to have to find text edit, and if you actually you don't want to do that, and then click open. So here it is. All right, so we're going to add some things to the bottom here of our style sheet. Oops, and I see that I accidentally, there we go. Okay, I accidentally typed something that I shouldn't have. All right, so what we're going to do is we have 4 div tags, and each one of our div tags has an ID, a specific ID. And that's how we're going to label them here. So I'm going to start off. These are all the properties we're going to use. You'll remember back in Lesson 8 you have a couple of links that take you to a lot more possibilities, but these are the ones we're going to use for the page layout. So I'm going to start by doing the container tag, and you have to put the hashtag because that's what's saying that this is an ID. Then you have the curly bracket, and I'm going to go to the next line, and we're just going to put these in. Width, and remember it's not actually an equal sign, use a colon, and it's 1,000 pixels. Then we're doing position, relative. Now the reason that we have to put in position, relative, is it's very specific. It counts them in pixels as to where you place things. But by putting it relative, we can then put the margins at auto, and that will position the container in the middle of the page with equal amount of space on both sides. So that's why we have position relative. Then you have to put in margin left and right as auto, and then finally we're going to put in 20 pixels of padding. That basically puts a little buffer against the wall so that nothing touches it. Then the next thing that's in our in there is the header. And again, the curly brackets and the properties, we're going to specify the width. It also is going to be 1,000 pixels. This we're going to specify a height of 150 pixels, and we are going to align the text in the header to the center and close the curly bracket. All right, and I just realized that I left off the height on the container. Height is going to be auto. There we go. All right, then next is going to be the footer. And since the footer is so similar to the header, we are going to copy and paste, change the word header to footer, and then the only difference here is the height is going to be 125 instead of 150. The last one we're going to put in is content, curly bracket, and it's going to have a width equals, of 960. Now the reason this one is 960 and the others were 1,000 is because this one has padding. And the padding actually takes up some of the space of the width. And we'll put the height at, at auto. And close the curly bracket. And we should be done. And now, if we check our index page, actually I should be able to refresh it. It is centered in the middle of the page. Header, content, and footer. Now, We have a couple more things to add. So in your container tag, or in your container here, you're going to put this to change the background. Now we have an image that is in our images folder, and that is what we want as the background just of the container. And remember, we're telling it to look in the images folder, and the name of it is background.gif. And I close the parentheses and I do that. Then I'm going to put background color, and it is a hexadecimal color. And that's going to go in the header and the footer. And then finally in content, actually let's save that and look at the index first. Notice how the background of the container is showing through here. So we have to put a background equals white in the content. And we can either type it in or we can use the hexadecimal code and refresh, and then this is what it should look like.